Wonderful. Arni, thanks for being here. Why don't we start with a little introduction about Monerium? So, what is Monerium?
So Monerium is founded in 2016 with a mission to basically bring fiat on chain. So we decided that to be able to do that, you need to have a regulated euro on chain. So we got a license in 2019 to actually issue fiat on chain as stablecoins, which are authorized by the government and recognized as fiat. And what we've basically done is built a perfect bridge between traditional finance and Web3 or blockchain, allowing people to get their personal IBAN. This could be individuals or corporates. They have an IBAN in their own name connected to their blockchain wallet, and then they can transfer basically euros to any SEPA connected bank account with their wallet, and then the euros that are received on this IBAN will be minted as EUR-E, our authorized euro stablecoin, which then basically has the superpower of the blockchain programmable euros. That can be used for any kind of use cases where you can swap automatically with any kind of real world assets, such as in the travel industry. But the superpower also is that users can also receive euros on chain and can send also to any SEPA connected bank account in their own name. Just looks like a normal bank transfers. There are zero fees, and the whole transaction is settled within, I would say, 5 seconds.
Great. So basically what differentiates Monerium, if I understood that correctly, is that you have taken away the pain of put stablecoins on chain for traditional businesses as well, right? So if
Yeah,
I'm a finance
exactly.
department of a travel company, so what is actually the procedure?
Well, I mean, for this to become mainstream, you can't have this kind of island, which is the blockchain. So for us, it was really important that you have this kind of complete bridge between traditional finance and blockchains. So you'll be able to create accounts with Monerium, get the IBAN, connect the wallet. It's a pretty kind of straight up procedure.
The main differentiator between you and other stablecoin providers is actually that you have built a perfect bridge for traditional finance departments to bring their euros or any other currency on chain. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. It should just be minimal friction for anybody. We recognize that, specifically also in the travel industry, you need to be able to talk to partners that are not on blockchain yet, right? So you can have the superpower of the blockchain, but you can also transfer freely with anybody that is not joined the blockchain yet with their bank accounts. So it's a very kind of simple procedure for both individuals or corporate to open up an account. They can do it directly with us, but also how we see things, we're infrastructure. So we're partnering up with other platforms that actually can, on their own, set up this, they can bring a wallet or use the Camino wallet and actually create IBANs for their users and handle the complete flow and onboarding with their clients.
You said something very interesting which caught my attention. 0% fees. How do you guys make money?
So we are an electronic money institution, which is an EMI. It's a license that's been in Europe for more than 20 years, or since 2000. Basically, we receive the funds and we safeguard the funds according to e-money law, and we mint the same amount, to the wallets. For the underlying funds, we get paid interests, and we are not allowed to basically pay interest towards the customers. So the more euros that are on chain, we make more money. But that actually gives us the ability to not charge fees for the payment leg. Right? If you imagine if we were not an EMI, we were just this kind of on and off ramp or centralized exchange, that is where we would make our money, basically. Mm-hmm. So you have this kind of perfect scenario where you and there's also just like you need to give the same experience as you have in the banking world, where you're sending 10 euros, you want to receive 10 euros. So I think that was really important to us. It just should feel like a normal banking transfer. So that's how we're able to do it. And even though we are not able to pay interest forward to the customers, we are also, as an EMI, we're not allowed to do anything with the funds. So this is actually the most secure way in licenses, I would think, for customers, where everything is 102% backed at all times in euros or in quality assets, according to the law. But on chain, you can get yield. Like there are many, like you can do business on chain, you can earn money in that way, you can actually participate in, DeFi protocols or whatever to actually get better yields than your banks are offering. So I think it's kind of a perfect setup.
Absolutely. And I mean, knowing that payment is a pain point in our industry, I mean, the average payment cost in travel is between 3 and 5%, not taking even into account all the frauds and chargebacks we have. And knowing that the average margins in our industry are around 1%. So basically, you're saying if a travel business uses Monerium payment service, they can actually double their EBITDA just like that because the payment cost completely goes away.
No, exactly. And that's also kind of why we're partnering with Camino, is that you've made everything so simple for the industry to kind of set everything up. And basically, they don't even need to know there's a blockchain involved, but you have all of these kind of new rails, new financial rails that can connect the whole world. You can do cross-border payments, you can do everything there. And we're just the kind of infrastructure that's just allowing you to interface the banking system exactly like they've done before, right? So they're not compromising, really. You can have both worlds without compromising.
No, this is honestly one of the hurdles we encountered when we were talking with traditional businesses or institutions like Lufthansa TUI. I mean, the finance departments were usually quite worried about how do I handle wallets? How do I do the on-ramp, off-ramp? How do I put tokens on my balance sheet and so on? This is actually all everything catered care of now with your solution.
Exactly. Like if you think about it, for us, like for Lufthansa, like for us, it never made sense to say like to Lufthansa, like, hey, go open up a Kraken account or a Coinbase account, even though like central exchanges are great for, their business purposes. But for the kind of mainstream adoption, it just, there shouldn't be these kind of many steps, these many middlemen. Basically, right now, with the infrastructure that we've built, is that you don't even need an external bank account anymore. You don't need the centralized exchange. Basically, the wallet becomes the whole focal point where you can do all of the business from one place. So we kind of abstracted all of that away. So that was the only thing that made sense for us to kind of bring mainstream on chain.
Absolutely. What kind of currencies are you supporting today, Arni?
So currently, we're just supporting the euro. We're doing some projects also in pounds. We've done card programs with MetaMask and a platform called Gnosis Pay, where basically also we're targeting the UK market. But in a few months, hopefully, we'll also have the same experience for the UK market with faster payments and the same, no fees and pretty much instant fees or instant speed. We are looking into new jurisdictions also and other currencies. But, right now, like you just need to solve one thing at a time. We're kind of focusing on Europe, making sure that it's completely kind of taken care of. And, that's where we are on our journey right now. But definitely thinking other jurisdictions and other currencies.
Great. So. Looking forward to that, because in our last hackathon, which we had with Lufthansa, actually, several teams already used EUR-E for different kind of use cases. So there were Lufthansa, they're doing settlement on chain actually between two parties using your stablecoin. Hotelplan was looking as well at using your, Hotelplan is a Swiss tour operator or pan-European tour operator group actually, which they also used EUR-E travel bookings and then created actually NFT-based bookings at the end of the day. And also, I think the whole topic of cross-border in travel, I mean, it's not only about the fees you have with credit card, but also it's the delay of payment. And I think, as you also mentioned, something very, very important is the programmability, right? Because, I mean, the traditional payment flows, as we have known them for 20, 30 or 50 years in our industry, with this, we can finally also change and bring more other kind of payment flows into the ecosystem itself.
The game changer is basically you can take anything of value and put it in the same place and have atomic settlements, right? Just reducing so many middlemen and cost and the efficiency just goes way up, right? So that's why we believe, that we know that in a few years everything will be transacted on chain. It will take a few years, maybe 10 years, 20 years, I don't know. So in the meantime, we're kind of bridging the traditional finance with, on-chain stuff. So, but in the end game is basically everything will be handled there. So if you're bringing the real world assets, everything from the travel industry, whether it tickets or hotel bookings or whatever kind of inventory, and having the money in the same place and you can do the settlements completely there, I mean, that's the game changer. And
yeah. Arni, can you share some insights on the global stablecoin movement at the moment? moment. I mean, each time I open up LinkedIn, I see a lot of reports about how stablecoins are taking over, how that stablecoins are already bigger in transactions than MasterCard and Visa per quarter and so on. So what is your perception? What is your prediction for stablecoins for the future?
Definitely is one of the hottest topic today is stablecoins. We can see, it's definitely different than in 2016 or 17 when we were starting out, where even the term stablecoin wasn't even kind of invented. But we can see there are some major players coming in. You have PayPal and others, and Circle with the IPO, and so there's definitely, this is one of the hottest topic. Is like AI, stablecoins, and all things, right? Yeah. I think like also regarding the cross-border payment stuff is that we see a lot of use cases like in Latin America, like connecting Brazil and Portugal and other things. So we see other issuers like us popping up in other jurisdictions, and the beauty about that is also with you have Camino. You just connect these kind of two things together. So like you don't even need Monerium to do the whole globe or anything like that. You just kind of have these stable coins come together, and it's easily exchangeable, transferable on chain, and you can create these kind of really cool payment flows, cross-border payments, using 2 actors or 3 actors or whatever. But we definitely see more stable coins coming into play now, even Euro stable coins and the Brazilian real and others. And we welcome it because, it is needed in the space. We knew that we were never going to be the only one, right? We just were focusing on becoming the best one.
Absolutely. And I mean, you have been one of the early, not pioneers actually in that space. And that's why we are very happy at the Camino Network to have partnered up with you. What was your main objective when partnering up with the Camino Network? So what basically made you the decision to become a partner and deploy your stablecoin on Camino?
Yeah, we've been following, so as I said earlier, is that crypto speculation is great and everything like that, but we've also predicted that, this is not going to be the main use case on chain. Like we see payments and other sectors, everything of value coming on chain. And obviously the travel industry is one of the biggest industries in the world, right? And somebody needs to kind of tackle that. We're tackling the fiat part and you're tackling the travel industry, bringing all of those assets on chain. I would say this is the first time where we really see that somebody is solving the problem. You're bringing in also like the partners that you're bringing into the mix is also big players. So we believe if anybody's going to make it, it's going to be Camino right now. So that's why we're kind of doubling down on this partnership and making sure that you have everything you need when it comes to fiat on chain.
Perfect. Great. You also mentioned something very interesting about AI, right? That this is a hot topic, but also AIs will actually need some kind of currency in order to perform payments, bookings, rebookings. There's a lot of fuss about AI agents at the moment, a lot of hype as well. How do you see that going forward?
I use AI every day. Like it's become I'm helpless without it actually.
Me too.
Today,
Honestly.
it just made me 10 times more productive and everything. But what I see, the blockchain is the perfect interface for AI, for the programmability of just real world assets, whether it be fiat or tickets or whatever. And you could see where basically AI is doing all of the heavy lifting for you, planning your trip, making sure that you're your financial advisor, with all of this programmability, you can kind of set your risk or whatever, or your likes or your interest or where you want to travel. Obviously, it is the perfect playing field for that.
Absolutely. And I mean, there are other institutions as well working on digital currencies like the European Central Bank. Do you see that as risk for your business, or do you say that more for actually consumers and the stable coins more for B2B, or how do you see that going forward?
I think the digital euro issued by the Central Bank of Europe is, I don't know. I don't really think it's ever going to be a consumer-facing product. It's I'm not the expert basically to answer this. I would probably want to talk to our lawyer about this. No, but if you think about it, they will never be a consumer-facing product, and it would never be on a public open blockchain. And it will take 20 years for them to figure out how to do it, right? What I say is basically we already have a digital euro, which is the EUR-E, right? As I said, we're regulated. We have the e-money license. It's just, it's perfect for this. This license was actually made, to have an agnostic technology underneath, and we're issuing fiat on this technology and in the form of e-money, and we kind of, we're already solved this problem. But I don't see it as a risk. We'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, great. I saw a LinkedIn post recently about Monerium that you reached a quite huge milestone as well, with a lot of transaction volumes on chain. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So actually, the EUR-E is the most used euro, the fiat-backed euro on chain. We are reaching right now 5 billion euros in volume since we started. It has been because we created this kind of the on and off ramping, or like just the payments side connecting into the DeFi just made it kind of organic, and people are using it. And rather than you have some stable coins where basically they park 40 million euros somewhere and you have 3 token holders and nobody is using it. So we made sure that you can actually use the euro. You can go between banks, you can spend it with cards, you can invest in DeFi or whatever. So the growth has been pretty big right now. So actually, it took us, I think, 3 years to reach the 1 billion, right? But the rest is actually just happened in the last 12 months, right? So we are having really huge growth in the last 2 months.
Great. Apart from using the euro for settlement between 2 wallets or on-chain payments or smart contracts, as I mentioned, but the Camino team is also doing at the moment, or the Chain for Travel team, is actually inputting the euro as well as payment option in the Camino Messenger, so that whoever then really books a trip through the Camino Messenger can also do the settlement and the fees in euro. Because that was also definitely a requirement from our partner network, where they said, hey, we don't want any kind of volatile cryptocurrency in there. We want stable coins because, of course, we want to know what the value is at a certain point in time and not volatility to proceed.
No, exactly. I would say... okay, having the assets on chain, both the flight tickets and the hotels, it makes it a lot easier for tour operators to kind of pick things for you and get the price. And how we come into play is basically all of the parties that are on the Camino chain can have their own IBAN. So basically, you can, within a few seconds, you have an atomic swap between the tour operator and the customer. And basically the money will stream automatically to both the hotel and the airlines, and they can have the money within a few seconds in their bank account. If they choose to have it there or not, they can keep it on the Camino network, or basically just have it automatically transferred to any of their bank accounts and keeping their existing models in place.
Arni, what would you say to any company in the travel network of Camino? What should they do next?
We're looking to kind of partner with, platforms that are making, life easier for the tour operators and airlines and everything, and tokenizing these assets. And if they want to be able to settle with euros, we are the perfect infrastructure for that. So there are 2 ways. Either, any corporate or individual can actually open up a Monerium account and get an IBAN, do all of these, settlements on chain just using the messenger. But we also offer a infrastructure where basically any platform can hook up into this infrastructure and have kind of complete control, making sure that they can, they know the industry best. They can onboard the tour operators or the airlines or whatever, and just give them an IBAN automatically, using their processes and flows. We don't want to be the middleman there. And just hook everything up, and then you have basically TradFi and Camino, connected together in a very easy manner. There's no... they don't, then the tour operators or the airlines, whatever, they don't need to change their existing systems. They just get the benefits of the new rails that Camino is providing.
And the benefits as well of lower payment costs and also compliance, right? And actually it's It's a low-hanging
Exactly.
fruit to improve the margins in a very competitive landscape as we are facing it right now.
Exactly. They're not holding like, Monerium is not against crypto at all, but like it matters to institutions in Europe. Like it's just like for their accounting and everything, just makes everything a lot harder and to explain. With this solution, it's basically we've guaranteed that everything is regulated. It's authorized by the government, and they're only dealing with fiat, throughout the whole process.
All known territory, but still using the new payment rails and all the benefits of the new Web3
Yeah.
world. Perfect. Arni, thank you very much for this. I hope
Thank you,
we
Pablo.
see you as well at our Travel Unchained in Crete this year.
Okay.
Because we have
Yeah.
our annual event upcoming, and definitely the topic of stablecoins will be one of the topics we are going to discuss there as well.
Would love to be there. Thank you so much for inviting
Thank
me.
you.
It was nice talking to you.